Okay, as the quarterback turns. So, I guess if you believe the NFL people, uh, kind of maybe the favorites at this point to get maybe trade for Deshaun Watson is Carolina. Um, and of course, that means they have a quarterback named Teddy Bridgewater, who we are familiar with here. And what's going to happen to him? Um, and they might have to get rid of him. And so naturally, the Vikings angle is, well, maybe well, it's twofold. One is the people who want to trade Kirk are like, well, we'll trade Kirk and then we'll bring Teddy back. And then the other one that would actually go with, I don't know if it's possible. I would take Teddy Bridgewater back here as a backup quarterback in a heartbeat. Um, he's not going to be very expensive. If he hits just the open market, he's not going to get another big contract because he wasn't very good with the Panthers last year. I mean, the game against us, we probably lose that game if he's sharper. Um, but if he does just hit the open market, he's not going to cost much. He's going to cost maybe like top end backup money, but he's not going to cost you like $10 million or something. It's gonna be something pretty reasonable. We know Zimmer loves Teddy. I think this whole the front office likes Teddy. Teddy left for reasons that had nothing to do with what they thought of him or what even what his skills could be. I mean, it was just bad timing. Like he gets the injury. I mean, you think he's never going to play again. There was a chance he would never walk again. I mean, and you weren't in a position where you could really, try him out much in 2017 because you're in the midst of a Super Bowl run. So, and at that point, are you going to, hinge the whole franchise basically to, well, can Teddy still play? Does he still have it? Because of course he was still kind of on the way up when he got hurt. It's not like he was fully established. Um, so I mean, it always made sense why they let him go. And he did good when he had opportunities with the Saints, and not so good when he had the opportunity now as the full-time starter with the Panthers. But what does that mean? He's probably very well suited to be a backup quarterback. And look, I know they like to just. I'll put it this way: they like, Cousins is durable. Like, he's not going to get hurt, probably. Yeah, never. Behind this offensive line, you can never say for sure. But, um, the argument that maybe you don't need the insurance at QB2. But, I mean, you think that, and then Cousins gets his knee torn up in week 1 next year, and we're gonna see 15 games of Sean Mannion or 15 games of Nate Stanley or somebody, or maybe a draft pick this year. So I mean, if the possibility arises, and it might, because especially if the Panthers do get Deshaun Watson, they're not gonna keep Teddy around as an expensive backup. They're gonna cut him, or I guess maybe try to trade him. But I don't know how much trade value he's gonna have compared to a lot of these other quarterbacks. So he might hit the open market. If you could get Teddy in here as a backup for $5 million, it might cost more than that, but you know, you know, I know they would be open to it. I don't know if Teddy would want to do it. I mean, at this point, I mean, Teddy's had such a snake bit career. Is he going to want to, after coming back, for years literally, and becoming a starter? Maybe not a good starter. I mean, he wasn't very good last year. He was probably one of the worst, like, full-time starters in the league. But you know, is he going to want to do that? I mean, he might not have the options. He might not. I mean, I can't think of a team that's going to just. The team's going to just hand him a full-time starting job, unless it's some team that's maybe got a rookie and they want to kind of ease him in. But if the chance is there, man, I would take I would rush to get Teddy back here as a backup quarterback. Now the uh, the negative, if they did it, it's like instant quarterback controversy with the fan base, because it's not a complete overlap with the Kirk haters and the Teddy lovers, but it's a significant there's a significant overlap with those two groups of fans. I like Kirk and I like Teddy. Like I wish things had worked out long term with Teddy and we never even had Kirk Cousins. I mean, that would have been the ideal. Teddy just doesn't get hurt and he just continues to progress, and who knows? We don't know where he would have ended up for sure. People are like, "Oh, well, see, he's bad now." Or he's not like, a top level starter by any means now. That means he was never going to be that. Well, we don't know. Like, the injury fucked him over. I mean, it just did. Like, it did. Just from a health standpoint, it fucked him over, and his development got fucked over. I mean, he's played, I don't know. God, he was drafted in 2014, and he's played 3 seasons now as a primary starting quarterback. He didn't play. I mean, missed all of 2016, pretty much missed all of 2017 except for, a few snaps. Played a little bit in 2018 here and there, and then started some games in 2019 for the Saints. So he's basically, he's way behind the curve of most quarterbacks at that, at that age and that experience. So we'll never know. Like would it have worked out long term with Teddy, and he's a franchise quarterback, and he's the guy we've been waiting for forever? Is he as good now without the injury as Kirk Cousins is now? I don't know. No one's ever gonna know. It's just one of those things you're never gonna know. But yeah, I would I know backup quarterback is not like a huge priority for the Vikings. It's way down the list, but I have no interest in seeing Sean Mannion. I have no interest really in seeing these developmental guys, Nate Stanley, Jake Browning. Maybe they'll draft somebody this year too. I mean, I have no interest in these guys. These guys are nothing. Basically with your backup quarterback, you want to have a guy who can come in, and if your starter gets hurt, you can at least have a chance. And like with the Saints in 2019, with when Breeze was hurt and Teddy comes in and played a couple really good games, and I think he was 5-0 in his relief stint. So it's kind of what you want. Like, I think Teddy is absolutely capable of being a really, really good backup quarterback at this point. And I wouldn't totally write him off as a starter, just because, again, he's been very behind the developmental curve. I mean, it's not like he was on a great team last year with Carolina. They don't really have much over there. But I would bring him back if it's possible, if it's at all possible. I'm not trading like big draft assets for him, and I'm not paying him whatever he's getting paid now. I don't even know what he's getting paid. It's a pretty good contract, and I don't even know if the Panthers are in a position where they could just release him and not really take a hit. But obviously, if they were to get Deshaun Watson, they're going to do something with Teddy. So, but yeah, I would bring Teddy back as a backup quarterback, and I would accept the inevitable quarterback controversy with this fan base, because this fan base is going to bitch about Kirk Cousins anyway, even if Sean Mannion is the backup quarterback. So why not get a better backup quarterback who a lot of the fan base likes?